Hi, young adventurers. Welcome to Funimation 3D. Today, we're telling a brand new myth with magic, laughs, and a legendary sword that has one weird rule. It doesn't choose the strongest muscles. It chooses the kindest heart. Here's the mystery. If you found a sword like that, would you try to lift it with your arms or with your choices? Our story is called The Sword of Destiny. In the shining kingdom of Luminara, rooftops sparkled in the sun, and lanterns twinkled at night like tiny stars. But one morning, the kingdom's sky bell, a special magical bell that helped keep storms calm, went silent. Not cracked, not stolen, just quiet. And when the sky bell was quiet, the weather got confused. Clouds piled up too fast. Wind spun in the wrong direction. Rain forgot where it was supposed to fall. Have you ever seen weather act silly, like it can't decide what to do? Imagine that, but for a whole kingdom. The king and queen announced, only one thing can wake the sky bell again: the Sword of Destiny, hidden in the ancient mountain temple beyond the enchanted forest. Everyone gasped, because the Sword of Destiny was famous. Not because it was sharp, but because it was wise. The old legend said, the sword does not choose the strongest, it chooses the kindest heart. Quick question, do you think a sword can really tell what's in someone's heart? Comment yes or no and tell me why. In the crowd stood Milo, 11 years old, clever, kind, and always carrying a small notebook for ideas. Milo noticed little things other people missed, like a sad face hiding behind a smile. But Milo had one problem. Milo didn't believe in Milo. When Milo heard legendary sword, Milo thought, that's for real heroes, brave heroes, not me. And right then, something tiny tugged Milo's sleeve. A small fox spirit popped out, about the size of a loaf of bread, with shimmering orange fur and a tail that sparkled like embers. I'm Pip, the fox spirit whispered, and then Pip sneezed glitter. That's my silly habit, Pip said proudly. I sneeze glitter when I get excited, or nervous, or hungry. Which is, most of the time. Milo laughed, and somehow that laugh made Milo feel braver. Pip leaned in and said, you're going to the temple. I can help. I know shortcuts. And snack spots. Milo gulped. I'm not chosen. Pip tilted its head. That's exactly why you might be. So Milo and Pip set off toward the enchanted forest of Whisperwood, where trees glowed softly and fireflies drifted like floating lanterns. As they walked, the forest felt alive, like it was listening. Sometimes the leaves whispered tiny advice like, be patient, and watch your step, and that fox is suspiciously sparkly. Milo followed the fireflies, until a loud voice called from behind, move aside! A kid about Milo's age strode up in shiny boots and a brand new cape like it had never met a mud puddle. This was Darius, fast, strong, and very sure he was the main character. I'm going to lift the Sword of Destiny, Darius bragged. Legends love muscles. Pip muttered. Legends also love manners. Darius smirked at Milo. Try not to slow me down, notebook kid. Milo wanted to argue, but instead Milo wrote one word in the notebook. Breathe. Then Milo kept walking. Question for you. If someone bragged like that, would you 1. Brag back, or 2. Stay calm and focus? Comment 1 or 2. At last, they reached the ancient mountain temple, carved into the cliff like it had been waiting for them forever. A stone door glowed with words. 3 trials guard the sword: wisdom, teamwork, compassion. The door rumbled open, and the adventure began. Trial 1, Wisdom. A friendly stone statue asked a riddle. I have keys but no locks. I have space but no rooms. You can enter, but you can't go outside. What am I? Darius whispered. A treasure chest. Pip whispered. A sandwich! Milo thought for 1 second and said, a keyboard. The statue smiled, the floor lit up, and a safe path appeared. Darius blinked. Huh. Milo smiled politely. Pip sneezed glitter like a tiny party popper. Did you guess keyboard too? Type click clack in the comments if you did. Trial 2. Teamwork. They entered a bridge chamber with a misty gap and missing stone tiles. 3 glowing symbols floated nearby: a circle, a triangle, and a star. On 3 pedestals sat 3 matching tiles, but each tile was trapped inside a light bubble that only opened when someone pressed a rune on the opposite side. Darius tried to rush ahead alone, and the bridge wobbled like jelly. "Okay," Darius grumbled. "The temple is being rude." Milo said, "We solve it together." Darius ran to hold one rune, Milo held another, nay, and Pip scampered to the third, grunting like a tiny hero while dragging the star tile. "I am a mighty snack artist," Pip announced. With the 3 tiles placed correctly, the bridge steadied and they crossed safely. Darius glanced at Milo. "Teamwork actually works." Milo nodded. "It usually does." Then they reached the final chamber. On a stone pedestal waited the Sword of Destiny, silver and gold, simple and beautiful, glowing softly. Darius stepped forward, eyes shining. "Finally, time for greatness!" But before anyone touched the sword, they heard a small sound. Whimper, whimper. A tiny creature, like a stone bunny with a cracked ear, was trapped under a fallen rock nearby. Its eyes glowed faintly with fear. Darius frowned. "Forget it, the sword is right there." He marched closer, and the sword's glow dimmed, like a lantern getting sad. The air felt heavy, like the room was disappointed. Milo knelt beside the trapped bunny. "It's scared," Milo whispered. Pip sniffed. "Also, adorable." Milo tried lifting the rock, but it was too heavy. Milo looked up at Darius and said, "Please, help me." Darius hesitated. He wanted the sword. He wanted applause. But the bunny's trembling eyes made his bragging feel small. Darius sighed. "Okay, together." Milo and Darius lifted the rock carefully. Pip steadied the bunny and sneezed glitter like an emergency sparkle signal. The bunny wriggled free, its cracked ear sealed with a soft glow, and it nudged Milo's hand like a thank you. And then the Sword of Destiny flared bright again. A gentle voice echoed through the temple. "Compassion unlocks destiny." Milo's hands shook while reaching for the handle. Milo expected it to be heavy like a mountain, but when Milo pulled, the sword rose easily, like lifting a feather. Darius stared, speechless. Pip whispered, "Kindness has biceps." The sword's true power appeared. A warm, guiding light ran along the blade, drawing a glowing path in the air, like it could point toward the truest way forward. Outside, dark clouds swirled over Luminara. A magical storm spun around the silent sky bell, and above it hovered a broken ring of light called the Sky Seal, the magic that helped the bell sing. This wasn't a battle to punch or slash. It was a problem to fix. Milo raised the sword and followed the guiding light to the bell tower. Darius used his strength to hold doors steady against the wind. Pip zipped through tight spaces to tug loose ropes into place. Milo held the sword so its glow showed where each piece of the Sky Seal belonged. Click, 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 until the ring reformed perfectly. The storm slowed like a spinning top running out of wobble. The clouds sighed, and then, ding! The sky bell rang clear and bright. Sunlight poured through, and the kingdom cheered. Darius looked at Milo, softer now. "You didn't win with strength." Milo smiled. "We won with kindness and teamwork." Darius scratched his head. "I was kind of a show-off." Pip sneezed glitter. "A tiny bit." Darius laughed. "Okay, a lot. Friends?" Milo shook his hand. "Friends." And that's the lesson of the Sword of Destiny. Bravery isn't always loud. Sometimes bravery is asking for help. Sometimes bravery is choosing kindness when no one is clapping. Now your turn. If the Sword of Destiny tested you, what would it test most? Wisdom, teamwork, or compassion? Tell us in the comments. Thanks for watching Funimation 3D. And don't forget, like, share, and subscribe to Funimation 3D.